Hi, Danny. Hi, Dougie. This is Grandma Keen, and I've got a few more stories for you today. This one is called A Man Chosen by God, and it's about a man named Abraham. And you can see him here. He's kind of an older man. Abraham was a good man who loved God, but Abraham and his wife were very old, and they had never had a child. That's too bad. But on this day, Abraham has some special visitors. Who are these visitors? What do you think they will promise Abraham and his wife? I wonder, what did Abraham and his wife want more than anybody? So some of the words in English here from the page are stork, tent, servant, calf, and then there's Abraham and the tent again. We see this is a big word, a terebinth tree. Terebinth. I don't know what kind of tree that is because they don't have that tree in my country, in the USA. But there is, let's see, there's a dog, and there is a maidservant, and there is Sarah. And what is this here? This is, a kneading trough down at the bottom. A kneading trough. That's what the women used when they were baking bread, and they had to mix the bread and mix the bread and mix the bread. Okay. So now we have the next page. If God came to your house one day, wouldn't you want to give him a very special meal? That's exactly what Abraham did too. So some of the words here are, there's a lizard, there's a wooden bucket and an oven, and there's milk, meat, curds, and bread. There's a road, there's a weaver, a fabric, and a loom. I wonder if you have ever seen fabric being made on a loom. When I was in Ethiopia, I went to a place in Lalibela, and I saw workers making cloth by weaving on a loom. And there's a well, and there's cattle, and there are visitors. There's a bull. Way up at the top, there's the afternoon sun. Okay. So Abraham and Sarah were lucky enough that God actually sent them a son, and their little boy was named Isaac. But then Isaac grew up. So here's a picture of, this is not a picture of Isaac, but let's read what it says. Abraham's son Isaac grew up and had a son of his own. So in the picture is a man named Jacob, and Jacob was Isaac's son, and he would be Abraham's grandson. And you see Jacob asleep, and there's a stone pillow that he's using. And you can see it's nighttime, and you can see heaven's light. So this page is called A Dream About Heaven. So Abraham's son Isaac grew up and had a son of his own. His name was Jacob. Jacob was sleeping in the desert one night, and he had a dream. What did he see in his dream? I wonder what he saw. Maybe he saw heaven's light. Who do you think gave Jacob this wonderful dream? You can talk about that with your mother and your father. But here's one more picture and two more words in English. Desert flowers. Okay, aha. So here's a little more about that dream. There's a stairway, and you can see angels with wings, and they're going up the stairway, and they pass a fountain. And who is at the top of that stairway? There is God, and you can even see the throne of God and a gold vessel. So Jacob, when he woke up, he met a woman and fell in love with her. It didn't happen right away, but she became Jacob's wife one day. So you can see her name there. Her name is Rachel. So Rachel and Jacob fell in love and got married. And you can see they had some sheep, and by their house they had a well where they got water. And here is another figure from the Bible. And this story is called A Beautiful Coat. And here is another man asleep and having a dream. His name is Joseph. Do you see the fancy new coat Jacob gave his son, Joseph? So, Jacob and Rachel, when they got married, they had a son and his name was Joseph. And when Joseph grew up, Jacob gave his son Joseph a fancy new coat. But Joseph had a lot of brothers, and Jacob didn't give new coats to Joseph's brothers, and they were angry. So Joseph had strange dreams too. These dreams made his brothers even more angry. I don't know why, because Joseph dreamed about sheaves of wheat. A sheaf is a bundle. So that's what Joseph was dreaming about. Now, when the dreams of Joseph made his brothers angry, what did Joseph's brothers do to Joseph? Uh-oh, I think there's trouble coming. Joseph's brothers sold Joseph to merchants. A merchant is a seller. Joseph's brothers sold Joseph to merchants who took him to Egypt and sold him again. Now, you know how they measured the money? They used something called a scale that you can see in this picture. And on one side, they put a weight, and on the other side, they put silver. So there's a whole lot of silver there. I wonder how much it weighed, maybe a pound or 2 pounds. And that's what they sold Joseph for. And there's a picture here of a slave merchant, a slave, and the chain that the slave merchant used. We try not to do that in our world anymore because it's not right to sell people. It's okay to sell animals or plants or things that aren't human, but it's not right to treat people like slaves. You can also see pictures here. There is a donkey, there's a wagon. You can see Joseph there, and there's a moon and stars and the sun. And on the side down here, you can see a bee. How about that? A little bee looking at that scale. Now, there's a whole lot more to this story about Joseph, but I'm going to stop here, and tomorrow I will tell you what happened to Joseph and his wonderful coat. So I hope you liked this story, and bye-bye for now. Love to you, and have a good day.